Hello everybody, this is That Shy Guy Matt, and today I am continuing my series with everything wrong with Half-Life 2 Episode 1. Last time I recorded was Half-Life 2, and that was like 2 months ago. Since then I got a new microphone, a new camera, a new keyboard, so quality should be even better this time around. That said, if you like what you see here, like, comment, subscribe. Let's just find everything wrong with Half-Life 2 Episode 1. Okay, I had to pause it to do this because there's no way to pause the cutscene that's going. First problem I want to say is G-Man and the Vortigaunts, they all have these weird abilities to do different things. Like, you've seen G-Man freezes time to get you out of this explosion, right? And then you have the Vortigaunt, which are about to do their thing. How come these people, these species I should say, because we don't even know if G-Man's human, I don't think he is. How come Vortigaunt and G-Man, none of them just do this stuff more often? How come they just can't accomplish their goals through doing these kind of things themselves? Do they not have the ability to fight others? It's just really odd when you think about it. Just saying, it makes no sense. So here, they're stopping G-Man from doing his thing, right? So who's actually more powerful, the Vortigaunt, especially when combined, or G-Man? I know Half-Life never gets deep into the lore of who G-Man is, but we really don't know much about the Vortigaunt either in terms of just how powerful they can be. I'd like to see in Half-Life 3 them face off with each other. Just be curious who'd win. But until then, the fact that they're these all-powerful beings that don't do much makes no sense. So here we are, and I just have to wonder, why didn't the Vortigaunt just teleport us somewhere like away from City 17, like totally outside of it? Maybe even Zen, I don't know. Just saying, it makes no sense. So here we are, just a little bit further down. I'm kind of confused why she has Dog go away. I mean, technically we could probably both stand on Dog's back and he could just crawl his way to wherever we need to go. But instead she sends him off and we, two feeble humans, have to go about doing this instead. Just saying, it makes no sense. Okay, now they come to this part where you have to get in the van and Dog throws you guys inside the car over there. I'm gonna ignore how illogical that is because look at this, there's metal everywhere, steering wheel in our way. I'm pretty sure we'd end up really damaged. But beyond that, why doesn't Dog, again, we could just climb on his back and he could just crawl across this rubble, crawl across there, jump over there. Wouldn't that be easier and, you know, it would have like no risks to us. Again, this makes no sense. Now we are in the van, in the Citadel, and we're about to fall through the floor. You know what I'm gonna say. We shouldn't be able to survive this. And if we do, we should be severely injured. Just saying, this makes no sense. Again, as always, I said in Half-Life 2, this Citadel is mostly fake. I said it before, but look at this wall. All these pipes and this metal beams, but it's just paint. That's all the aliens did, was they painted this fake facade on all these walls. Again, I think most of this facility is just fake. It has to be. Why would they paint this on? Why not just put actual like metal tubing and, you know, pipes through this? It's weird. And again, it makes no sense. So we come across these stalkers. We have to do this whole roller mine puzzle, but have you ever actually looked at these stalkers? What does this mask do? Is it an electronic mask? What do these little panels on the side do? And like, see their arms. The left arm, or I should say technically this is the right arm, it has two little prongs on it, and the left arm is just a nub. This seems like it'd be really not beneficial for the aliens that want to run the Citadel. Why not just leave their hands there? And why put this device on their head? I could be wrong, the device could actually, maybe it enhances their vision, but the hand thing is just weird. It just, yeah, it makes no sense. So we come across this little bridge and you have to cross it without getting sucked up into that thing. Now this isn't a complaint, but this is just a suggestion. The aliens should really make a device that spawns one of these, whatever these orbs are. These would be great for vacuuming or cleaning debris fields or any other kind of big construction project. They can make a ton of money out of that. You know, just saying, you want to make some extra money, aliens? Instead of ruling the world, make a giant vacuum like this. So you get in this room and it zaps out your little gravity gun and it turns it into the, you know, that like super gravity gun. But I just gotta say, this could have been the end of Gordon Freeman. What if this thing just zapped the life out of me or just incinerated me, disintegrated me? Would have been the end of the game. Gordon's very lucky. Just saying, this makes no sense. So when you arrive here, you have to pull one of these orbs and shoot it over there so the bridge completes. Again, what if these orbs weren't here? Would we just be stuck here? Have to go back out the way we came, which is now blocked? Again, Gordon's very lucky. When you come across this bridge, you see the Striders walking underneath you and a ship goes by. How come the Striders right here just didn't turn around and just shoot Gordon? I mean, I guess I could hide, but still, this whole citadel is full of aliens. Why don't they just all converge and kill us? Especially with the Striders or the ships. Just saying, this makes no sense. So you get on the elevator here, and you have to shoot the debris out of your way so it doesn't smash the elevator and you fall to your death. What if Gordon never got this gun turned into a super gravity gun? What would if he had done about the debris? Nothing. It'd be the end of Gordon. Again, he's ridiculously lucky that he even had this super gravity gun. Because right here, we would have been dead from, the debris hits the elevator, you fall to your death. Game over. That's the end of episode 1. Just saying. Might I add, this whole lift sequence, having to constantly shoot the debris, is the most frustrating sequence. It really made me dislike episode 1. Why did they make it so difficult? Even when you hit the debris with the ball, half the time it still hits the elevator and you still die. I don't want to think about how many times I probably had to do this sequence. Did they need to make it so challenging? You probably just could have had one piece of debris you shoot away and then that would have been it. It would have been fine, but nope. They had to make it super annoying. It makes no sense. They come across this core puzzle, and might I say, I know I'm wearing an HEV suit, but I don't have a helmet on. How do we know this core thing isn't leaking radiation? I could hear it clicking, right? So there's gotta be some radiation. I'm pretty sure Gordon would have cancer by now. Just saying, this makes no sense. When you come down to this little puzzle, you have to grab these little orbs, shoot them in here to power up this lift, which powers up that, yada yada yada. But what if this hole wasn't here? You wouldn't have been able to grab these orbs, and this elevator was stuck down. So Gordon just would have died right here in this little section, with no way to escape. Just saying, this makes no sense. As cool as this alien tech is, much like with the walls I pointed out, I think this is all fake. Did you ever look at this up close? These buttons aren't actually buttons. They're just painted on circles. This keyboard looking thing, just a flat painted on thing also. When they're pressing stuff, what are they actually pressing? This is all flat. With the exception of these little keycard looking things. I can't press any buttons because it's all painted on. Again, this whole thing is a facade, this alien facility. So much painted stuff everywhere. Like look, these pipes, that's just a painted on texture. That's not an actual pipe, it just makes it look scary. This doesn't actually glow, just paint. What would this place look like without all this paint? This is probably a very boring looking citadel. I'm surprised their technology even works. Just saying, it makes no sense. It's pretty amazing that Alex isn't dead yet. I've at least got an HEV suit on, even though I don't have a helmet. But she's made of flesh and blood, and she's just wearing regular clothes, and yet somehow, all these combines shooting, throughout this whole game, she hasn't been shot once. Technically, she probably would have been killed by now. And technically, I would have been killed by now because I'm not wearing a helmet. So again, just saying, this makes no sense. So our train just crashed, and we managed to survive. Yet again, somehow. Just saying, this makes no sense. She said Zombine. Yep. No comment. Now remember, in Half-Life 2, I said, look at that, she's invincible. Well, now we come across these poison head crabs, and what happens? She's able to withstand them. She's poisoned, and yet she's living just fine after multiple bites. Why isn't she the protagonist? She's invincible. Just saying, come across this little elevator, and you gotta do a whole puzzle, but I gotta say, what would happen if Gordon didn't have his flashlight on his suit or with him? This is what most of this section would be like. And I'm pretty sure Gordon would just die or get lost with Alex because you can't see jack without a flashlight in here. And with all the zombies and antlions and stuff coming around, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'd also be dead in the total dark. Just saying. So you come across this puzzle and you have to put a gear from in here, the little wheel. If we hadn't found that little wheel there, it wasn't in there, then what? Can't do anything to this fence. Can't get through the doors. So We just go back down to our deaths, I guess? Just saying, this makes no sense, and we're lucky. As always, thanks to this human-sized vents, I can get through most things, just like in real life where we have human-sized vents. This is a really weird yard. I mean, I get you can only access it through this door, but there's like no real grass. Just a totally empty yard. It's a box and a tree. I guess you could call this grass, much like the Combine Tower. I kind of feel like this is just painted grass. Maybe grass doesn't even exist anymore on Earth because of the Combine. So now we just paint everything that looked like grass, so it feels more natural. Just saying, could be a thing. So you get to this section, and you have to face a Combine ship with your rocket launcher. Because one of your friends died holding it, but what if there was nobody up here with a rocket launcher? How do you defeat this ship? I guess again, you and Alex just die. But I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Again, luck. Gordon has the most amount of sheer crazy luck I've ever seen. So when you come to this puzzle, you have to flip this switch to open that door over there. I'm just kind of confused. Why does one need to walk all the way through here? This is, you know, normally outside of an alien invasion to flip a switch to open a door. This makes no sense. So when you come into this room, you see these two little train carts, and it looks like they're being held by a rail here, but how did they get in? Now, I know what you're saying. There's a big door here, right? Okay, well, if the door is open, how did they get in? This one, it's on a yellow beam that can't move. This one, nothing placed it here. There's nothing above it. So, yeah, how does this even work? This makes no sense. So I am kind of curious. How is this train able to go through that force field? I can't get it. Alex can't get through it. Is there like some kind of alien tech on the train that lets them pass through it? Just saying, it makes no sense. Now you get separated from Alex, and you have to work your way through this room full of all these cargo crates. You go over here, go up here, around here. All I gotta say is, what are the odds all these are perfectly lined up so you could escape? Because, and realistically, none of these would be open. You'd be right here and you'd just be killed by this Strider. Again, it'd be game over for Gordon. Just saying, it makes no sense. Now that you make it to the other side of the room, Alex tells you they can't leave until they kill this Strider. What if I didn't have my bazooka? My rocket launcher? What would we do? Just stand here forever? Wait for it to go away? Just saying, it makes no sense. That's it for Half-Life 2 Episode 1. It's a very short episode, and there was honestly not a lot of content to go through. I'm going to do Half-Life 2 Episode 2 next, so stay tuned momentarily. And welcome back. I'm going to be doing today Half-Life 2, Everything Wrong with Episode 2. So with that said, let us just continue, start a new game for this episode. Right off the bat, you know what I'm going to say. We survived yet another crash. Another train crash, and we survived. I just don't understand. We were on the back of the train. The explosion from the Citadel came. We should have been annihilated. Just saying, this makes no sense. Okay, so now, technically speaking, we don't have to go into that mining cave, right? Because in the reality, you could probably just climb over these rocks, go any which way. So I don't know why she's insisting we go this way. During an alien invasion, I'm not sure I want to go down a mining cavern. Just saying, makes no sense. Hey, we made it through the little mining cave. Oh, but there's a fence. Oh, it happens to be unlocked and we could get through. Of course. You come to this little station, and I'm kind of confused about this. I get this tunnel, the rubble fell, blocked it off. Wouldn't that be behind the engine? Because the engine comes into here, right? Why did this come in here? This was already here. Did it back in originally? And then where do trains go if they pull forward to get into here? How do they get back out? You know, and like, what if they don't have the coal thing on the end to fill it? This whole thing, doesn't make sense. Okay, so in the tunnels, you come to the cave for the ant lions, right? First off, I don't know why there isn't any ant lions in here protecting their babies, but I'm pretty sure if you stepped on them, they should be able to detect their pheromones that their babies are being killed, right? And then they would come in here and probably just slaughter me. But instead, I'm fine for now. Just saying, it makes no sense. Might I say, you have to defend Alex, but thank goodness they have these ammo containers here. or else we'd all be totally dead. Just saying, this makes no sense. So now we have to save Alex Vance, and the Vortigaunt wants you to go down to the caves to get the extract that's needed. But again, they could teleport, can't they? And do other things. Why can't they just go get it themselves magically? I get it, it's a game. You have to have, purpose to go do stuff, but still, this makes no sense. So we're now in the hive, and I just want to point this out yet again. Gordon is not wearing a helmet. These antlion, whichever kind of creatures these are, spit acid at you. Acid lands on your head. Just saying, it makes no sense. Oh, thank goodness these little, I call them ground pounders, are keeping the antlions away, or else we'd all be dead right here. I mean, I know Vortigaunt can take on a lot of people, but I'm pretty sure he'd get low on energy and we'd just all die anyways. So just saying, as always, Gordon has good luck. Come to the next part where you have to get into your car and drive off. But thank goodness there was a car here, right? If not, we would have had to walk a very long ways. Just saying, luck or not, it just doesn't make sense. No, we left the city and there happened to be a radio tower for us to let White Force know what was going on. Just saying, thank goodness there's a lot of open areas for our car and no trees in the way or rocks or anything, so we could get to where we need to go. We're being chased by one of their little helicopters, and I gotta say, you probably didn't notice, but she's not bulletproof, so just saying, she'd be dead in this, little car chase battle. Well, thank goodness the car broke down right where there happened to be some little rebels set up in a base. Here we are. Dog saved us from the Strider. All I gotta say is thank goodness for Dog being here. Right in the nick of time, or else we would have been totally killed by this Strider. Stabbed or shot or whatever you want to call it. Again, this makes no sense, and it's good luck. So, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I'm pretty sure the bars shouldn't be inside the rocket, right? When this takes off, isn't it just going to hit this and explode? I mean, that's what I would think. Unless this thing moves out of the way, but I don't see any gears or electronics. So again, poor design. Just saying, this makes no sense. Down here at the rocket, you see this little Vortigaunt sweeping. Though, not quite sure what he's sweeping, but that's besides the point. Look at this. He has no exit. So when this thing starts, he's just gonna die. Do they even know he's down here? This seems really inhumane. I feel like they just sent him down here to fake sweep things. Then they're just gonna toast him. Maybe, hear me out, he did something bad on the job, so that's his punishment to go down here, and they just didn't tell him that he's gonna be fried? Harsh punishment, but this doesn't make any sense. Given how secure this base is, I have no idea how anybody got inside past those steel doors. It makes no sense. So I pause this because Alex went to go get her dad some tea, but just look at the inside of this cup. There's nothing in there. So either that steam is coming from the cup, or that's just a fake cup of tea. I don't know what's going on here, but that makes no sense. So here we have to launch these spheres at this, testing it out. But I just want to say, this is their mechanism to pull it, right? It comes all the way around here, and then... oh, it's not even connected to it. So how is this even going to work? Again, this makes no sense. So they just opened this gate for me. It slid open, but I'm not quite sure how it did it. I don't see any electricity going to it. I don't even see any rails for it to slide against. Is this like a magically operated gate? Just saying. This makes no sense. So how did this train car get here? It's not on rails that connect to that, and I'm pretty sure they didn't push it because these things are heavy. Just saying. This makes no sense. So here we are defeating the Striders, and there's a sawmill down there, and then there's cranes here. But where did these cranes get the wood from? And why are they on hills to move them? And where are they putting them? These cranes being here makes no sense. And that was everything wrong with Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2. And that also concludes everything wrong with the Half-Life series. I have not played Half-Life Alyx, though I do have VR, just haven't gotten around to it. Maybe I could do everything wrong with that too. I'll just have to see. And maybe one day, eventually, if hell freezes over, we will get a Half-Life 3, and I can do everything wrong with Half-Life 3. But until then, I guess that is just it. And I hope you enjoyed this series. If you like what you see here, like, comment, subscribe for more content. And maybe let me know in the comments, is there a series you want me to do that's everything wrong with? Let me know. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.